gotta start this video over. I'm doing this video today because I'm tired and I'm not necessarily addressing something, but I am. I'm talking to the people that believe in a village concept. I'm not talking to people that don't believe in it in the black community. Regarding the youth between, teenager years of like 15 to 25 or 24 or whatever. I'm talking about people my age that believe in the village concept. If you believe in a village concept, you should not be just dismissing 15-year-olds through 20 that they're just grown and that they just gotta figure everything else out on their own. Yes, they gotta figure everything else out on their own because you're not babying them anymore, but you're guiding them and you should be giving them advice or even taking them under a positive wing, not a negative pawning toy soldier ass type shit, whether it's a girl or a boy. But because the problem is that I see when we have these kids that are 15 through 24 or whatever, 23, 20, whatever, like under 25, you look at them as competition and not as somebody that needs to help save the race in the future and be positive and be doing something righteous and positive for themselves and for their people in their generation. And so now we got stressed out parents that feel like we should just dismiss our kids when they still need us. I recall I still needed female advice and guidance when I was 18 and 19 and 20, but I didn't get it from the people that I expected to get it from. I got nothing but bad, cursed type of advice, and that carried over to the next to these days. So if we're that village, just because if you say you're a female and you care about somebody, somebody's kids over there, or you as a teacher, you gotta look at it from a teacher standpoint. And we out in the public schools and this fake ass shit, we ain't got nothing but non-relatable ass teachers, and very few can relate to us in any type of way. So that shouldn't even be something that should count. I'm talking about peers of the parents and peers of the kids. You don't have to be dating somebody to care about somebody else's kids. Like, I believe in the village concept. If I see that somebody's kid is in trouble, if somebody's daughters is in trouble or whoever, I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna say what I can with the energy and the time that I have. And for my situation, that's all I would be asking for. We can't just dismiss them like, oh, they grown, let them go. And then so what you saying is, go, forget about the kids when they are kind of pretty much lost. I don't agree with that. I have a problem with that. And because I know, as far as me being a mother, I did the best that I could do. I did what mine didn't do. And I have a male child. I have a man child. So, and he's pretty much in the young adult bracket. And so there's some help that's needed. And
I was weekday and weekend plans. We're going to an event.
I can only do so much. Like, everybody be like, you can't do this with the male and that with a male child, raising them up. You could raise them, but you can't make them. And I 100% get that. And that's what I'm saying. What's up with the village then? If we know this, where's the village at? Not no fake government village that is plotting to put them in jail later type of shit. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like proper guidance, proper advice, positivity, knowing the individual by the individual, not no fake, you know, state paid type bullshit, fake ass YMCA ass type shit. I'm talking about some real concern. And I'm not knocking people that do work for the YMCA or community centers, because maybe they're in that job to really care. The ones that do care, just like I had 100 teachers in the public school system, but we only had, out of them 100 teachers, we only had 3 that was really relatable and that really cared. And they got tired because it wasn't enough picking up the slack for them, with them. Everybody is so condemning, like we got a slave mentality towards our youth, condemning them quickly and shit when they copying off of us. So people gotta really self-reflect to think about this, and I stand my ground with this statement. Like one thing I want to bring up is rites of passage. So since we didn't have rites of passage properly from our original traditions since slavery, there needs to be something that we know if we're a village and we're woke and stuff like that. We need to have something with that, with whatever we can do. I know that everybody's busy. I know that everybody's tired, and there's only so many of us. But we need to do the little bit that we can, even if it's just 2 minutes, a 2-minute phone call. These kids all got cell phones, and if they don't, you call their parent that got the phone. You find them and reach out to them. 2-minute phone call, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Or hanging out or whatever. That's all that's needed. Like, we see them grow up from being born or being a little kid, but as soon as they turn 15 and 17 and 20, it's kind of like, oh, well, we see them in traffic. Like, no, they still be needing their handheld to a degree. They just don't need their handheld by the same person all the time. By the same person that's raised them or whatever. You know? I consider myself a sound person when it comes to being a parent. But some people don't even have that. So we got to step in and get over some of these stereotypes and bullshit and step in and help out and reach out.
So all my kids are in the...
From a 2-minute phone call to maybe 2 hours of hanging out or something. Even if you gotta meet up with their friends might need it too. So that's just where I'm at with it. I'm feeling like that's really missing. I know I did the best that I could do. I did what I could do as a mother with mine, and the same goes for a lot of other parents. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
And I'm one of them parents that's not gonna be like, oh well, you don't discipline my child coming up. You don't make them write lines. You don't make them. You don't lecture them. No, see, I'm not with that. Like, I understand that's what a lot of people do, and that's different. And even if they in trouble, like they finna get ran over by a car or somebody pull a gun out on a fucking 17-year-old and you try to intervene, that's what's up. You gotta do that type of stuff. Like, fuck how they parents feel sometimes. The greater good is beyond one individual lost mind. So we can't just dismiss no 15 and 17-year-olds and 20-year-olds like, oh, they grown, oh well. Yeah, they grown, they gotta learn stuff on their own for sure. But have them make sure they have the tools they need and wisdom and thoughts and stuff that they can carry into learning stuff on their own as they go through their own adversity. And if some of that adversity could be prevented because somebody gave them a wise word that they do take into accountability, that would help. It's not going to come from the same as mother or whatever parent that they sit up under all the time. or wherever they do or whatever they go. And that's where I'm at with this. So this is an accountability video and something to think about. I'm not mad at nobody. I'm just like disappointed that I feel like I'm the only one that's thinking like this currently right now. And this is what I'm going through. And I've been saying this. Like, we missing the rites of passage. A prom ain't no rites of passage. That's American Pie rites of passage. That's some bullshit. Rites of passage. Get cute and go out on a date and some music and go home. That's not rites of passage. That's just a cliche rites of passage. I'm talking about that rites of passage, wisdom and tools. And the rites of passage and the traditions wasn't just no one day or 1 week. It was the variations of different activities and lectures and trips, like field trip type stuff, and to see who could pass certain tests for adulthood. And they took that shit seriously. Nobody's taking nothing seriously now. So yeah, this is how our generations become lost from generation to generation because of the missing components. I give props to people that have contributed already, and it's talking about me personally and all of that, but it's a never, just like they say a mother's job is never done, neither is the village. The village job is never done. Peace.